So let us understand debentures in the most simplest way. If I want to start a company, of course, I will need vitamin M, that is money. So how can I raise this fund? Possibility number 1, through own funds. Possibility number 2, through loan funds. Own funds are basically introduced in the business by the owners of the company. Owners can be the nature of promoters, those who start the business actually. Or possibility number 2 could be equity shareholders, who give money and allotted shares of the company. They also called as the owner of the company. What is the main characteristic of the owner? An owner gets a voting right and the owner gets a share in profits. But an owner never gets a fixed rate of return. So you are an equity shareholder, so you never get a specific rate of dividend every year. It's not mandatory that the company has to pay dividend every year. But then the option number 2 of raising funds is, by the way, of a loan fund. What do we mean by loan fund? See, the person who is going to give me money is called the lender, not the owner. Now, he is not the owner, the lender. What do I promised him in return? I promised him and a fixed rate of return as an interest. So, as an example, I can raise money through banks, or I can raise money through financial institutions, or I can raise money through people like you and me. By the way, I was a corporate, was in need of funds. So corporate can raise funds through banks or other financial institutions or through people like you and me. So if it were to raise money through a bank, it can raise money through a loan, and if they want to raise money through people like you and me, then instead of taking a loan, they issue something known as debentures. Outside India, they are very popular, known as bonds. Well, in India, bonds are generally taken in the context of government bond, okay? But understand, primarily I can use the word debenture and bonds as a substitute to each other. So to wrap up once again, what is debenture? The debenture is nothing but a financial instrument through which the owner of a company can raise funds. The person who gives money to the company known as a debenture holder. Okay, what does that person get in return? That person gets a fixed rate of interest in return. And then how much is going to get? In what time frame is going to get? What are advantages, disadvantages? We'll talk about that in the immediate next segment. So let's talk about the advantages. The very first advantage of investing in any company's debenture is you get a fixed rate of return. What do we mean by fixed rate of return? Whenever you invest in any debenture, the debenture clearly mentioned that it's a 9% debenture or 10% debenture. Okay, so even if the stock market goes down, are you still going to get that 9% or 10% which was promised earlier? Answer is yes. So even if the market goes up or was down, you are going to get a fixed rate of return. That's the most primary advantage of a debenture. Second advantage is that the rate of interest that you get on debentures is definitely higher than the rate of interest or you get in a bank fixed deposit. Third one, there are different types of debentures. I'll give you two very popular types of debentures. One is known as secured debenture, one is known as an unsecured debenture. If you invest in a secured debenture, that's an advantage. So 1%, even if the company goes bankrupt, what happens is that the assets of the company will be sold off. Whatever money will be received, that will be used to repay the money of the debenture holders. So your money is comparatively safe. So always remember, if you were to invest in debenture, try to go ahead with a secured debenture. If I discuss about liquidity, then there are a majority of dimensions which are listed on the stock exchange. Yes, you heard it right. So what does it mean? If you invest in debenture of a company, can you easily sell or buy these debentures on the secondary market? Also on BSE or NSE? Yes. The moment I want to sell it off on the exchange, I can sell it off. So, in fact, while talking about the advantages itself, I talked about the disadvantages. Is this flat rate or are there any option in that? This is what we are going to talk about. So that's why let's talk about this. Your effective yield. Yield is basically how much effectively interest rate you are going to get in ranging from 9.89% to 0.39%. Please have 100% attention, then you will understand this. So what has happened? Let us check. You have total for time frame is which you can invest your money if you are very comfortable. I can invest in bonds without any fear. You can world with 120 months. That is our 10-year tenure.